Greetings, welcome to the fifth of the Baz tutorials. Today I'm going to make something which will have a QuickTime movie zoom in and out according to the amplitude of a sound file playback. To start with, instead of double clicking to make a new object, which as we've seen in the past brings up the palette, I'm going to just, assuming you have a blank patcher window in front of you, I'm going to make a new object by hitting the N key on my keyboard, N for new object, and that gives us already a blank object box with a blinking cursor. I can start typing the name of an object. I'm going to use a buffer today to play back our sound file. Buffer tilde loads sounds into RAM instead of playing them back from the hard drive, which is what we did with SF Play. I'm going to give the buffer a name so that other objects can refer to it, and I'm going to then give it the name of a sound file to load in. There's one called jongly.aif, so I know that. So what I just typed in there was buffer tilde, the space, drums for the name of the buffer, a space again, and jongly.aif is the name of a file in your search path. Alright. To access this buffer to play back, we're going to use something called groove. So again, hitting the N key on my keyboard for a new object, start typing groove, and as an argument to that groove tilde, I'm going to type the word drums so that this groove tilde here refers to this buffer tilde. We can see whether this buffer tilde loaded a sound if I hold the command key on my Mac or a control key on my PC. I can double click this buffer tilde object and it gives me some visual representation of the sound file that was loaded in there called jongly.aif. Okay, close that. The first thing I'm going to want for my groove tilde is a signal to tell it what speed to play back at. So I'm going to create a new object, again N, and type the word sig, S-I-G tilde, with an argument of 1, which will be normal speed. 0.5 would be half speed, 2 would be double speed, etc. So connecting the outlet of my sig tilde to the left inlet of my groove tilde, and then I need a message for groove tilde because I want it to loop. So I'm going to make a new message. I'm going to type the word loop with a 1, well space, then 1, a comma to separate out the two parts of a message. Start loop is the other single, no spaces in there, start loop. So what I just typed there was loop 1, start loop. Well, don't forget the comma between the loop 1 and the start loop. I'm going to connect this message, the outlet for the message box, to the left inlet of the groove tilde, and I'm going to need to create something to hear this playback. So I'm going to make an easy DAC, which I have no shortcut on the keyboard for, so I'll double click in the blank space to bring up the palette, and I need an easy DAC, which is right here. I'll grab myself an easy DAC, connecting the left outlet of groove tilde to the left inlet of the easy DAC, and if I want it to come through the right speaker as well, I'll connect the left outlet of that groove tilde to the right inlet of that easy DAC. Now, assuming everything went according to plan, I can click the easy DAC and hear it. Automatically just plays through once. If I want it to loop, I need to click my message box up here, so loop 1, start loop. I'm locked at the moment, in case you couldn't see that. If you weren't locked, you wouldn't have started this playback. So let's click the message box. Alright, I'm going to stop that by deselecting the easy DAC, just so it doesn't annoy me and you can hear me. The next thing I'm going to want is something to play back the QuickTime movie with. So if I unlock my patch again, I can click in the blank space with my command key or the control key on my PC to unlock the patcher. Make a new object again. This time we're going for the same thing we had in tutorial 3, which is jit.qt.movie, and that's good. Let's have one of those. We need a message for our jit.qt.movie to tell it to read something. Let's make a new message again by clicking the M key on the keyboard, and we're going to say read, this time something called dozer.mov, which is the name of another file which is in your search path. So we'll connect the outlet of that message box to the inlet of the QuickTime movie playback thingy, and we need a couple more things. We need a metro or something to bang the frames out of this qt.movie. Let's make another new object. Let's make a metro with, let's say, after the word metro, let's give it 20, an argument of 20, so that it outputs a bang every 20 milliseconds. I'll connect the outlet of this metro to the inlet of the qt.movie. One more thing we need is to start and stop this metro with a toggle. I'm going to make a toggle with the T on my computer keyboard. That's a T for toggle, in case you didn't get that. And I'll connect the outlet of my toggle to the inlet of my metro. One more thing I'll need to actually see this video playback is a window of some sort. So I'm going to make a new object and type in jit.window, which we saw in tutorial 3 again. And as soon as we create that object, up pops our new jit.window. I'm going to connect the outlet of my jit.qt.movie to the inlet of my jit.window, and